It's time for an extra update as I've sold one of my altcoins in my portfolio as it pumped by 300% today. Let's have a look at the portfolio. It's time for a new update. The markets are waking up again, which means that we can start trading. In the previous months we have been holding the entire portfolio, and now some altcoins are starting to wake up as during this week, optimism was going up initially, but OMNI today has been going absolutely wild, which means that it's time to make an additional video as we want to keep you posted on all the things that we do with the portfolio on our journey, which should be helping your journey. And if you want to be the first to receive the content, make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel, but also make sure to follow us on X and Instagram. On both platforms, we share all the steps that we take with the entire portfolio. And as you can see, earlier today, I posted a tweet where, or is it an X? I don't know. But I tweeted that I've sold my entire position into OMNI. And the reason for that is that it went from $2.30 higher than $7, which is an insane move. If it's peak bull market, it could be normal, but at this stage, it's an insane move. So I usually don't really sell an entire position, but the fact that this news was just a recent news announcement that proven provides a correction all the way back towards the initial point made me decide to sell it entirely. And what was the news? Well, you can see it. It's the listing on Upbit, and Upbit is the biggest Southern Korean exchange, which is a closed market. So if it gets listed there, it's a completely new market with new liquidity, and that usually generates a lot of volume and activity from traders. I'm positively surprised that a coin like OMNI gets listed there, but it also means that the markets can go bananas. And we have seen examples before where the markets have been giving this type of wick and has come all the way down, which is in this case, for instance, Compound, which did a 2x in a day and went all the way back. Earlier this week, we saw Optimism with the same news, wicking all the way towards 90 cents and coming all the way back. So in terms of volatility, it's extremely overextended to the upside, which is great. We can capitalize on that. But then you need to question yourself, like if that happens, are we going to hold it? For sure, we can see OMNI going up way higher from this level. But if we can capitalize that initial run and sell the position and move it towards other coins and maybe get back into OMNI at a later point in time where the markets have been correcting, that might be a great way of trading this market instead of just like holding the entire position. So also in that case, if I saw some comments, if we would have known that OMNI was going to go from 20 bucks all the way towards $1.50, 20 was the first level that we bought it on. Of course, in hindsight, we wouldn't be buying it, but in hindsight, everything is easy. And right now we need to deal with the data that we have right now and make the trades based on that. And in that regard, we need to compound the portfolio. So let's have a look at the portfolio and the current standings. The altcoin portfolio has started to do better, and not compared to the initial buy-in, which is hypothetically 110k, but if we're looking at the lowest point, which was 35k, it's currently back above 60,000, probably prior to a slight correction on the markets. But overall, it's starting to look quite well, as we also know that we bought Optimism at $2.20, and it's currently at 70 cents, which means that once we go back to that number, the portfolio is going to be in a big profit. So if we look at the portfolio, I tweeted this out earlier, we can see that due to the fact that OMNI has been going great, it got back to 5.5k and the allocation was back in line with the rest. However, we sold OMNI earlier, as right now it would have only had an allocation of $2, but we sold it in the previous rally that we have seen with OMNI. So in this case, as it is so far up, we said we want to sell the entire position of OMNI, which is around 5.5k, which we provided a timestamp around 11 a.m. And we would like to add it into positions that are in the same risk class, which means adding it to the lower 4. In that case, we are adding it towards Rocket Pool, we are adding it towards Renzo, and we are adding it towards Wormhole, where we suspect that Wormhole is going to yield a higher return, as it has barely seen any move. Renzo was also kind of in tandem with OMNI going up slightly. That results into some mutations, which we can see here. As you can see, we sold the entire OMNI position, the 761. We bought back some Rocket Pool for 208 pieces, and we bought around 100k of Renzo at 1.45 cents, which is 1/10 of the initial starting point for Renzo. And we started to buy Wormhole at 0.8 cents. So after this rebalancing, we don't have any OMNI anymore. And you can see that they're still standing 4k, which means that we still have a loss of $4,000 on OMNI, but this is actually put into the other assets. What I mean by that is that due to the fact that we have been buying a little bit more of Renzo, the DCA on Renzo has become 3 cents to become break even again. While initially we started buying $10,000 of Renzo at 14 cents, and by continuously adding the another $6,000, we are currently having the break-even point at 3 cents. And the same can be said for the other positions, in the sense that Wormhole has a break-even at 15 cents. So that regard, it's currently at $60,000. I kind of see the upside coming from here. It's equally balanced. We keep IEVO a little bit low at this point, which is fine. And we are ready to roll for the next upwards move. And you could question, why are you selling OMNI at this point? Well, I think that OMNI is going to correct back towards $3.5, $3 or maybe $2.5. And in that time span of a few weeks, I can compound my return by allocating it towards other assets, which I think are going to do better. So for instance, if Renzo is going to double from here, or if Wormhole is getting a listing like this and does a 2 or 3x, I can reuse that money to buy the dip again on OMNI, which, as I said over and over in the videos, is going to yield me a higher return by simply acting on the data that I get instead of simply holding the asset. As I still believe that OMNI is going to do better, it's going to go higher in the upcoming cycle. But my goal is to trade the markets and to yield myself the highest return possible. The action on the track is heating up, and now it's your chance to be part of the action. OKX is the primary partner of the McLaren F1 team and is giving away official McLaren F1 team caps to new users, and there's more. You also have the chance to win one of the 3 VIP experiences in Zandvoort in full papaya style. And now this is what you need to do. You need to sign up to OKX using the link in the description beneath. You need to create an account. You need to make your first crypto trade, and then you will receive one of those caps at your home. And if you already have an account, if you refer a friend, you will also get one of those caps. These caps won't last forever, and the VIP experience won't last forever either. So you need to sign up before the 8th of August to be part of the entire challenge and to be part of this giveaway. It's a once in a lifetime, so make sure to join through the link in the description beneath, and perhaps we'll see each other in Zandvoort. It's a great day because OMNI has been going back to the regions of like a year ago, which is great. And we have been able to be buying other assets on lower valuations with the profits that we made on OMNI. Still, we've made a loss on it of $4,000. And I think the crucial part is that people are always fixated on their buy-in. But if something is less than 10% worth of the initial buy-in level that you started on, then perhaps you need to erase the buy-in itself and just trade the data that you have. And I think that's one of the core mistakes that people make. Our goal is to just compound the returns and compound the portfolio that we have, in the sense that if any of these coins are doubling from here, I'm actually making even more profits with the stack that I've sold in OMNI and then put it into another altcoin. So I think this is going to yield us a higher return than simply holding it. I hope you have enjoyed this update. Thank you for watching. and I'll see you again on Thursday with the new update. Ciao.